Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. And today we're going to talk a little bit about what I think is the most important thing to remember when you're fishing cold water, you know, wintertime fishing, that type of stuff. Because in my opinion, there's one or two elements that you really have to understand and master to be effective and to be able to catch fish throughout the winter time. So we're going to get into that a little bit. Real quick, just want to remind you guys, today is the final day of the Black Friday sale for the Solar Bat sunglasses. These are the new Randy Block at 1 models that we've been talking about here with Solar Bat. Just came out. Awesome glasses here. Got right now with the Black Friday sale, buy one, get one free. So you can check them out by going to the solarbat.com website, and I'll include the link in the description here if you guys want to order some, make a great Christmas present. So get that out of the way. Okay, let's talk a little bit about cold water fishing. I spend lots of time fishing in the wintertime. A lot of the on-the-water lessons I do for the jerk baits are in the months of November to March. So I'm out in the cold weather a lot. I'm out fishing a lot in the 20 and 30 degree temperature ranges, dealing with water temperatures that are between, 40 degrees, 45 degrees. Now, first of all, one of the things you got to remember is cold water is relative to the part of the country that you're in. If you're in my part of the country or north of here, we're talking about water temperatures in the upper 30s to 40 being cold water. And if you're talking about, Texas, Florida, the southern parts of the United States, a lot of times water temperatures in the low 50s is considered really cold. So it doesn't really matter what part of the country you're in. You have cold weather relative to your area, and so that's what's great about what I'm going to tell you here, is that it works everywhere, regardless if you're dealing with 40 degree water temperature or 55 degree water temperature. The number one element, guys, that you need to remember when you're fishing in cold water, there's two things I want to talk about, but the number one thing is water clarity. Water clarity has a direct impact on the success that you're going to have in cold water. And probably it's more important in the wintertime. What are you doing there, Tyne? Probably it's more important in the wintertime there than... What are you doing here? You want to say something?
Hi.
Okay, I'm going to finish the video here. There's not another time of year that it's more important in the wintertime, because the metabolism of the fish has so much to do with the water temperature versus water clarity. I'm not going to say that you've got to find the cleanest water in the lake, but you've got to find water visibility that is probably above normal in clarity if you're going to have really good success in the wintertime. I'll give you guys an example here, fishing in Missouri. And I'll use, for example, like Table Rock Lake, where I guide a lot. The lower end of Table Rock Lake, down by the dam area in the wintertime, you're going to have anywhere between 5 to 10 foot of visibility, just depending upon the weather patterns and the environmental factors in there. The mid-lake area, you're going to have anywhere between, say, 4 to 6, 4 to 7 foot of water, which is foot of visibility, which is still pretty clear. So it's not that you necessarily have to go to that cleanest water in the lake in the winter to get bit, but you need to go into that area of the lake that you got the bass's ability to feed by sight a little bit. In my opinion, when you're dealing with cold water, the sight bite is a lot more critical than as far as the bass using their lateral lines to pick up noise and vibration. You can still catch them like that, particularly if you're farther south. Like if you're dealing with cold water temperatures in the 50s like you do way south, you can still catch bass in water that's not real clear with reaction baits like lipless crankbaits, rattle traps, that type of stuff. But when
Daddy,
hold on one second. What?
Daddy, can Elliot play ball with me?
Yeah, he can play. Just one second here. Sorry, guys. So, what you want to look at is the colder the water that you're fishing. If you're fishing areas like where the water temperatures are in the upper 30s, around 40, that sight factor is the number one factor in relationship to the water visibility. And again, the farther south that you fish, it's still a factor, but you can still capitalize on other strike triggers, like vibration. So the first thing that I want to do when I'm talking about cold water fishing is I'm looking for some fairly clean water. And in my situation, I like to do a lot of jerkbait fishing. I fish a lot of small swim baits. So I like that water visibility sort of in that, 4 to 7 foot range. That's what works really good to me when the water is really, really cold, down around 40 degrees. Some other things I found out, it's like there's a magic point of which that switches on and off. Because if I'm fishing a lake like Stockton Lake or Grand Lake or Lake of the Ozarks, and it's early or late winter, a lot of times in early and late winter, we still have water temperatures in the 50s. Like here in Missouri right now, we're almost into December and we still got water temperatures in the mid 50s here. So when you're dealing with mid 50 water temperatures in abnormally warm environments like we have now with climate change, there's some other things that'll work. I mean, I remember 45 years ago, when it came December, it was cold. You did not have water temperatures in the 50s, and now it's the norm here. I mean, it's the norm with climate change that we have water temperatures 5 degrees warmer than we did 40-50 years ago. So I'm going to do a video on that at some point. But back to the point of what I'm trying to make here is, if you're fishing early and late winter, water visibility is still a key, but your bait selection can change a little bit. Instead of fishing those really finessey baits like suspending jerk baits and Alabama rigs and swim baits, a lot of times you can go to moving baits like, some type of a crawdad crankbait, maybe a slow rolled spinner bait, sometimes even fishing a chatterbait real slow. Use that combination of water visibility and water clarity to determine the technique that you're going to fish. But one of the things that you really want to stay away from, guys, is stay away from the water that's sort of that mixed color, a little bit off colored, stained. That's why normally in most lakes, the river portions and the upper creek sections are normally not near as productive in cold water, because the bass simply aren't as active in that dirtier water. So, this is the time of year I stay away from those upper reaches, and I gravitate more towards that mid to lower lake on the main lake. Another thing that you're going to find in cold water situations is the main lake opens up a little bit more to productivity. You can still catch bass in the major creek arms, but I found a lot of times that when that water temperature gets down to sort of its coldest point, which we have here around January in Missouri, that's when I really like to go out to the main lake more. Again, looking for the mid lake to lower lake and that little bit cleaner water. So overall, guys, just wanted to do a quick cold water video here. Biggest advice I can give you guys is stay in the water visibility that's clearer than normal in the lake you've got. And what that does is that makes the lake a lot smaller. It allows you to break down that lake and eliminate it a lot. I think one of the biggest problems that people have in the wintertime, if they don't catch fish, is they're in the wrong water clarity. That's so critical. There can be parts of the lake that you fish are just completely dead, or either the bass aren't there or they're inactive if you don't have that right water clarity. So one of the biggest things I'll leave you with here, guys, is eliminate a lot of the water and stay on the main lake, stay in the mid part of the lake or the lower end of the lake, or wherever your cleaner water is. And I think you'll have a lot more success doing that. So anyway, just a quick video with that. I got these boys out here wanting to play ball. Sort of a nice day here. We'll check in later. Hope you guys are doing good, and please subscribe if you haven't. See it.